Hello there everyone, thank you for joining me today. I am kind of late on my Best in Beauty this month, but we're getting it in anyway. Just my favorite products, some of my best finds of the month, both rediscovered things and maybe some newer things. August is already over, we're into September, and now I can say next month I'm gonna have a baby. I am so excited, you guys, and I am so ready. I am full on nesting. Over the weekend I reorganized our bathroom. I'm like so happy with things, but we're gonna hop in and do this. I can't talk today. I'm having trouble speaking and I'm having trouble holding on to things. I've dropped about 1,000 things on the floor this morning while getting ready for this, but first things first, I think it makes sense to start with the foundation. And I think the foundation find of the month for me has been something that's been rediscovered, and it's my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. And I feel like I found this on the heels of the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation, which is beautiful. This I feel maybe has a hint more coverage, a hint less glow, but still is a super lightweight and also luminous foundation. And I've enjoyed it so much. I've worn it a ton. I like applying it with a brush, but today I put it on with the Beauty Blender and just kind of dabbed it in. And I feel like this medium coverage is something I can really be content with right now. Now, maybe you've tried this, maybe this one isn't your favorite. You would like more options in a foundation similar to this. I do have a video that is the best lightweight foundations, both drugstore and high-end. So you should definitely check that out if this is a topic you like. But something someone did bring up was, is this any better than the L'Oreal True Match Lumi? It's been a long time since I've tried that and I don't have it on hand right now. I do remember liking True Match Lumi, and that question kind of makes me want to go back to the store and be like, maybe I should try this again. I'm kind of curious, is it more luminous or less luminous than this one? But I do love this foundation, and I think if you're looking for something that can really give you a similar effect to that Charlotte Tilbury one, you might love this. And that's not her newest foundation, by the way. That's the one in the squeezy tube, and it's got kind of a lightweight sort of dewiness. There's a lot of luminosity in it. I put that on in the Charlotte Tilbury video if you want to see that. But as far as concealers go, paired with this, I feel like I've really been mixing it up a lot lately. Sometimes I'll use my Catrice One Drop, which I think is super impressive because literally like drop and then your under eye coverage is good. Today I used a little bit of my e.l.f. concealer, but you know, whatever you want to do is fine. But whether I'm reaching for a light concealer or a more like super full coverage one, I can still make it really work in with this foundation, so that's nice. I have been reaching for my Beauty Bakery flour powder a ton lately. I love the texture, like mainly for setting the under eye and the T-zone. And the takeaway is not simply like how it looks right after I put it on, because I do think it's kind of smoothing. It's kind of blurring in a way, but also the staying power. I've used it consistently enough to realize that I think I can get away with putting this on top of the glowier foundations, not so much the matte ones, but like this or the nude sticks or just different ones. And when I've got this setting my T-zone, I do feel like I've got better staying power overall. So this does come in several shades, and I've got the translucent one here. There is a sifter, but it's not, I gotta say, not the most effective sifter. Like, even though you'll have it turned here to cover up the holes, some stuff sifts out anyway. So I just kind of go into that, and like today I lightly set my under eye and my T-zone with it, and it just really enhances the staying power nicely. Here's one of my favorite, if not maybe my most favorite product to come out of the Wander line. Their Trip for Two blush and bronzer duo, and I really like it in the duo that has daiquiri and Tulum. I have worn this a lot over the past month, and a brush that works amazingly with this is this guy here, double-ended. It's got an angled side and just like the perfectly sized blush side. And as I was putting this on earlier, I'm like, what part of this do I actually like best? You know, is it the brush or is it the product? I mean, the product I really like because the tones are on point. I love the depth of the bronzer, and I like how both have just a satin finish, which is really, really easy to blend into the skin and make look natural. So I use the angled side in with the bronzer, and I take it around my hairline. I really feel like I have been kind of going at it with the contour, although it may not look that way because, you know, pregnancy face and everything's kind of filling out. But I really do make an effort to contour these days, and I like that shade for it. And then the boldness of this color called Daiquiri, it's so pretty. A really fresh pink flush, and I just give a dab of the opposite side into that and blend it in on the skin. But a great brush regardless of what you use it with. Just a very impressive cheek brush. I love it, and I would even use maybe like one of these side sides for powder too, and then you're eliminating another step. I could probably highlight, like maybe use the tip of the little angled brush to highlight, or just the tip of this. It could potentially be powder, bronzer, blush, and highlight. All that. Just a couple of other face products here that I don't have on today, but I really do love. Milani has put out a bunch of bronzers and highlights, like a really nice range of shades in both those lines. But in the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, this shade called Sun Drenched. If you've heard me reference any bronzer that has kind of like a reddish tone in it, this has that at that drugstore price. It is fully matte. I think it looks beautiful on the skin. It is an effective contour, but if that kind of reddish undertone speaks to you a bit more than those that look really, really golden or tan, this is awesome. I've enjoyed it so much. Very smooth, not difficult to blend. I would say generally speaking a little bit goes a long way, but I'm not being that careful with it. And then, oh, Rediscovery here, the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones in Sophisticated Sable. These are tremendous from the drugstore. If you have not tried an Instant Cheekbones blush, I mean, I don't care what shade you pick, they're all great. They're all kind of like satin finish textures on these two, and then you get like a shimmery highlight, and it was highlighter before highlighter was cool, you know? I love the ability to just kind of mess with your blush tone a little bit day to day, but this little trio that I'm holding here, like, it looks so blah. I get it. It does not look like that would be very effective, but it is gently rosy, kind of rosy neutral, great fall blush shade. Pop that on with your deep lip or any kind of eye look, and it will just make sense overall. And this gorgeous color here is a highlight. I think, what was it? My Walmart video, I believe this was where I used that, if you want to see it in action. Here's another face-related favorite, guys. I can't quit with the face stuff this month. But in that Charlotte Tilbury video, actually the catalyst for the video, the thing that I really wanted to purchase most and like test out for you was this Glowgasm Beauty Wand, Beauty Light Wand it's called, and I have it in the Pink Gasm shade. There's also a peach, and is there maybe one other? I'm not sure. But basically you got this little squeezy tube here and then a little puff tip that the product can squeeze out of, and it is fantastic. I love the amount of blushy tone in this paired with the amount of glow. It's a perfect sort of ratio. There was a product, one of these e.l.f. like jelly blushes that kind of resembled this vibe, but I still like this best. This is definitely a favorite. It's just so smooth and pretty, and I really associate it with kind of a light makeup look overall for whatever reason. I mean, it's not like you couldn't wear this on a full glam day. It's just the kind of thing where, not just in this setting, but out in natural light, just out and about, it looks so fresh and radiant on the cheeks, and it kind of lets your skin steal the show for the whole look. You know what I'm saying? It's truly undeniable. I love this product. I think it's probably one of the most exceptional things I've tried from Charlotte Tilbury's line. Another rediscovery alert here, my Too Faced Natural Face Palette. Really started thinking about this when I realized it was in the Ulta sale, and it is a great, like, well-rounded face color palette with your highlights, blush, and bronzer. And somebody had commented in my 21 Days of Beauty, it's also great on the eyes. And once upon a time, I'm pretty sure I've used it on the eyes, but it's been a while. And so today, since I thought I got enough face stuff going on, I don't need to layer on more, I would just use it as a quick eye look, and it was just very simple. I love this color called Tropic Like It's Hot. It's kind of like a shimmery, rosy bronze, and I got that going in the crease, like no big deal. Seriously, just kind of an everyday rosy bronze. And then I used Stardust over here, Starlight, I'm sorry, up on my brow bone area. Used the more goldeny highlight all over most of the lid, and then just came back in with Tropic Like It's Hot, just to give myself a little more depth on the outsides. But can't you see this eye look being just very everyday, working for any occasion, just quick work look? I mean, I did that, I threw on mascara, and done. It's really kind of enough, don't you think? Not every day calls for 5 different shades from a really complicated palette. Some days do, but not every day does, and this is just kind of like every day to me. So if you look at the value with this, I mean, it's great all over the face for all those different reasons, but then it's also a really nice little quick eye look. Also, on the topic of eyes, I mean, I've mentioned this a lot this month, my Almay Brow Styler, but it is kind of like my new holy grail brow gel product. It's tinted, I wear it in medium brown, and I did do my full brow with this in my bite-sized review of it, so if you want to see that happen, you can check it out in that video. But most of the time the way I use it is just just fill in my brows with a pencil or a pomade, and then this is my finishing touch. Why do I love it so much? Well, you're getting substantially more product here than you are with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set, number one. Number two, the brush always comes out perfectly cleaned off, and it was doing that from day one. Not some goopy wand that you're gonna be fighting with and like, ooh, I'm getting too much in my brows and having an issue. And number three, the hold is better than anything. Like, just tremendous hold. If you've got any sort of length in your brows, if you've got unruly sort of brows that just kind of move around on you, try this stuff. It's so good. And I just love that little skinny wand. It's very easy to control in the application. And if you do want to just use this and this alone, you can work right off the tip, the very tip of the wand, to fill in little bitty areas that you have. So it's great. And then my final thing that I've been loving this month, I've really been attracted to this new trend toward long-wearing matte lipsticks that are in this kind of jumbo stick format, you know? I've really enjoyed the NYX Lingerie Push-Up. These actually have a plumping, kind of cooling feel to them. Not annoyingly so, not crazy stingy or anything, but you'll notice a little bit of a cooling sensation, which is fun. Normally it's like glosses that offer that, not usually a matte lipstick. But then I've tried the Neutrogena Lip Show as well, and this is very similar in the finished look on the lips as far as just like a matte lipstick goes, very full color, glides on easy, but maybe has a bit more moisture than these do. But overall, they're very similar and they last so well, and something about putting it on this way makes me feel a little less fussy than the liquid lipstick. But also, I think these feel thinner on the lips and less like that separate real layer of product that's sitting there, you know? The shade I'm holding here in the Neutrogena, by the way, is called Round of Applause. Nice berry shade would be a great match for my shirt here today, but I felt like combining a couple of the NYX. And by the way, all of these are equipped with a little sharpener at the bottom that can form your tip a bit more. The Neutrogena comes rounded off and the NYX ones come pointed, but you can make them all pointed if you want to. But I've got three favorites from NYX. Bedtime Flirt is gonna be the most like kind of nudie, sort of peachy nude, slightly deeper nude. I really love that, just all over the lips. Seduction is a great one, kind of a nutty shade, a little bit of brown in this, hint of rosiness, a really nice kind of toasty neutral. And then Exotic would be your berry, reddish, a little bit of brick in there. But still, this whole line from NYX is trying to overall be pretty nude, so to speak. Today what I did is I put the Bedtime Flirt shade, the lightest one, pretty much all over the lips, leaving some little gaps on the outside. And then I went in with the deepest one called Exotic, and I kind of layered up a little bit. If you work quickly, it works best because these do set. They'll be a little less blendable if you just sit around for a long time and then decide to add another. But you can kind of smudge them in together and get a little more dimension on the lips. But even if you just got one, like Seduction, the one that I did not just put on, that is a really beautiful one this time of year. But I'm loving this format. I know Maybelline has something called like the Matte Ink Crayon, and I can't wait to find those and try them too. But obviously, since it's matte, don't get me wrong, it's not like overloading you with moisture by any means. I mean, it's a matte lip, but I've had awesome wear time out of these, and something about them just feels lighter to me than a traditional liquid lip. So guys, those are my favorites for the month. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for always taking an interest in the Best in Beauty videos. I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.